Good evening to everybody. First of all, we'd like to say thank you to Gerald and Rita for dedicating this Dvar Torah. It's really with mixed feelings that I introduced over here this Dvar Torah on Parsha Toledot. It's mixed feelings because the reason for the dedication is that Gerald and Rita are relocated to Telmont, to Beit Protea, and for them it's very happy, starting off a new life, change of place, change of mazal. Gerald already said that it's the people are so friendly. So first of all, we wish you and Rita a lot of hatzlacha and a lot of happiness in your new home. And for us, it's at the Bekneset HaChadash, it's sad. We miss you very much. I see all the Leviim in the second row. Dr. Michael Hockerman and now you, all the Leviim in that second row have gone to the same place. Thank you very much for sponsoring, as I say, the Dvar Torah. I always remember the first time that you came to the shul, Mary Jerry on your kippah, and Hatzlacha Rabbah in your new life. I think in the Parshiot of the Torah, so Parshat Toledot must rank one of the most difficult, not difficult in understanding the words, so I could understand the words very clearly. Every child can understand what happened, the words in Yaakov taking the bracha from Esav, but the whole matter is, for anyone who's a little bit older, it is just so bizarre, so difficult, what he did, what exactly happened over there, what transpired, why Hashem wanted the berachot to come to Yaakov in this way. But I would say that with all said and done, I think this is one of the most, if I could say, one of the finest moments of Yaakov and indeed the Jewish people. And then explain what I mean. Of course, the question is, when Esav sells the Bechorah to Yaakov, what exactly is he selling? And why does the Torah tell us that Esav had an absolute disdain for the Bechorah? I mean, if the Bechorah is, you can't sell something which is either person's a firstborn or not as firstborn. So it's obviously what he's doing is that he's selling some rights. So now let's analyze. I mean, if he's selling rights, material rights of inheritance to his brother, so why in the world would he treat it with disdain? Why would the Torah say that Vayivez Yaakov Esav et HaBechorah, that he had an absolute he looked at it as something so disgraceful. What's disgraceful? Getting a double portion of an inheritance. I mean, it's ridiculous. It screams out aloud that obviously it wasn't just a material increase of rights which he's selling to Yaakov. And when he says an expression, "Why do I need it? I'm going to die," etc., it obviously cannot mean something which is physical material. So obviously, the Bechorah, the rights of the firstborn, was some spiritual task which was granted to the firstborn, and Esav said that he had no need for such a thing. And I want to cut a whole long, not go through all the sources, but I want to just get straight to the point of the Midrashim and the Gemarot, etc. Why I'm saying that Yaakov, this was Yaakov's finest moment, because you see, what Esav was rejecting was the spiritual heritage of being a firstborn of Israel. Now, what exactly was he rejecting? We know that when Hashem appeared to Abraham and he made a covenant with him, so what he did was he said to him that, you know what, I'm giving you Eretz Israel, I'm making a covenant that you'll be a chosen people, but you know what, there's a proviso over here. You're not going to get anything easy at all. Before you come into the promised land, because before you come into the land flowing with milk and honey, you're going to go through, I wouldn't say hell, but God forbid, but you're going to go through slavery, you're going to go through affliction, you're going to pay the price of 400 years of torment, and only then will you get Eretz Yisrael. And it's to that Yaakov said, that Esav said, I don't want it. I went with all the great gifts of Eretz Yisrael, but to go through all that, to have 400 years of suffering and wandering, and only afterwards to get Eretz Yisrael, I don't want it. And indeed, the Torah says that, and so we say in the Haggadah, we always juxtapose the lot and the destiny of both Yaakov and Esav. We say that Esav got his inheritance immediately, like we learned in this Parsha and the next Parsha, and Yaakov had to wait for his inheritance some 400 years later. And that's why I say it's the finest moment, because Yaakov, when he took the bracha, when he negotiated with the bracha, when he wanted to get the bracha, what he showed in that determination was, yes, I know that to be the Jewish people, to be the Am HaNivchar, to get the berachot of Hashem, it comes with a very, very heavy price. And you know what? I'm prepared to pay that price. I'm prepared, me and all those who follow me, all our descendants, that I'm prepared to suffer going down to Egypt, but I want the bracha of Abraham. That's what made this whole event. As I say, I'm not giving a shiur now. I'm not going into why it had to happen in this way, all these big complications, the role of Rivka and how Yitzchak saw it. We're not going into this. All I'm saying now is that we're looking at from Yaakov's point of view and Esav's point of view in the negotiation, and what made Yaakov do something, what was so great about it. This is indeed what makes it great, the preparation to suffer through history in order to finally come to the promised land. Shabbat Shalom lekulchem.